All of you, welcome back to course database management system. So our today's topic is introduction to hashing. So till now we discussed about indexing. So we have seen how indexing works in a database, as well as we discussed the numerical based on b plus tree and b plus tree. So what we understand in case of indexing, how indexing will work. In case of an index, what we are doing, we are creating a separate file called as an index file, where we are storing the search key and its data pointer. For example, I want to create an index for a student table. So in case of a student table, I am going to store a data such as roll number, name, branch, marks and address. So in that case, suppose I want to search a student based on a roll number. So in this case, I am going to create indexing based on a primary key, and in this case primary key is what, a roll number. So whenever we are applying a concept of indexing on a database, it will create a separate index file where we are storing search key. So in this case my search key is a roll number, and second thing is pointer. We are going to store a pointer. So suppose I want to get the details of a student whose roll number is for example 101. So in that case, what database will do, first of all it will look in an index where it will search the roll number 101. Once it find the roll number as a 101, then directly it jumps to that particular location where roll number 101 resides, because in the index file we are storing two things. One is a search key and second one is a pointer. Pointer is nothing but address where your actual record present. So in this way your indexing concept work. So in that case, at that time you need to access a index file to find the search key, and then you need to visit that particular record where it is being stored. Okay, but instead of this, suppose directly you want to jump to a location where your record is being stored. So whether it is possible with the help of indexing? So answer is no. So in case of indexing, I need to create an index file, and in that index file I need to search for a search key. Then I can able to search that particular record in my original table. Okay, so in case of indexing, you require a extra space to create your index file, just like your book. Suppose in case of your book, you are using indexing, you are using the index. So for in order to store index, you require some set of pages where index is being stored. Okay, so in case of indexing, it required a space and its searching time is more as compared to hashing. So I will demonstrate how hashing, in case of a hashing, searching time is less. So in case of indexing, you directly cannot jump to location where your record reside. First of all, you need to search in a index file. But suppose you want to jump directly to record or a particular memory location where your record reside, then you have to use the concept of hashing. So hashing is a technique, it's an effective technique to calculate the direct location of a data record on the disk without using index structure. This is what a specialty of hashing. In case of a hashing, we directly jumps to a location, memory location, where your memory record, where your actual record is present. This is what a main use of hashing or main benefit of hashing over indexing. In case of indexing, first of all you need to search index file, and then you can jump to that actual record. But in case of hashing, you directly jump to a location where your record is being present. So this is what a hashing. So hashing is a technique to visit location of a data directly, okay, without using index structure. So in case of hashing, there are few basic concepts that you should know. So first basic concept is data bucket. So what do you mean by bucket? So bucket is nothing but a storage. It's a unit of storage where your actual record is present. It's a memory location where records are stored. So generally in one bucket you are going to store one data block. Okay, one data block is stored in a one bucket, and one data block may consist of n number of record. Maybe the capacity of one block is storing of 10 records. So in one bucket we are storing one block, and in one block we are going to store a 10 records. So data bucket is nothing but a memory location where records are stored. And second thing, so here in this particular diagram you can see this is what a data bucket where your data blocks are stored, and in that data block we are going to store a record. And second thing is hash function. So what is a hash function? What is the use of hash function? It helps to map all search key to actual address where your data is being present. For example, this is what my search key 101, 102, 3, 4, 5. So in this case my hash function is mod 10. Okay, in this case my hash function is mod 10. That means 101 divided by 10, what is remainder? 1. So in that case I can say that search key 101 is mapped to bucket 1 where this 1 is being stored. Okay, so this is what a hash function. Hash function, you can say it's an algorithm, it's a function which helps to map a search key to a bucket. So in this case of hashing we are going to make use of concept of hash function. Hash function is a kind of function, or you can say algorithm, which helps to map search key to a bucket. So this is what a concept of hashing. So main benefit of hashing over indexing is that in this case there is no need to search any index file, but directly hash function helps to map search key to actual location where your record resides. So we can say that hashing is faster as compared to indexing, because in case of indexing you need to search a index file and then you can reach to actual data. Okay, but this is not a case in case of hashing. Directly you can reach up to that particular record. So again, one more thing, when you should use indexing and when you should hashing, when you have a small amount of data, at that time you should go for indexing, and if you have a huge amount of data then you should go for hashing concept, because in case of hashing you can directly jump to location where your actual record is present. So this is what a concept of hashing. Now next is types of hashing. So there are two types of hashing is there. One is a static hashing and second one is a dynamic hashing. So let's discuss static hashing. So what is static? As its name suggests, static means what? Fixed. So in case of hashing, what will be fixed? Your hash function is fixed and your size of your bucket is fixed. So in static hashing, when a search key value is provided, hash function always compute the same address. I will explain what is the meaning of it. In this case my search key is 101 and in this case my hash function is mod 10. So 101 divided by 10, it generates remainder as a 1. So this 101 will be stored in bucket number 1. In bucket number 1 we are going to store 101. Again suppose we apply hash function, same hash function on 101 mod 10, again it will generate remainder as 1. So 101 will be stored in a bucket number 1. That means though you are going to generate the hash value for n number of time, it will generate the same hash value. Okay, that is why it is called as a static hashing. In case of static means what? Fixed. Okay, in this case hash function always compute the same address for same search key. Means for if we talk about 101, it generates remainder 1 and that 101 will be always stored in a bucket number 1. So this is what a static hashing. In this case, number of buckets provided remains unchanged at all time. For example, here we have taken the size of bucket as a 9. Total 9 buckets are there. So suppose my database size grows, so in that case I don't have any option to increase the number of bucket, because I have selected the concept of static hashing. Static means what? Fixed. It is fixed in size. Number of buckets are fixed here. Okay. So this is what a concept of static hashing. Now next we discuss what are the operations on static hashing. So you can perform insertion operation, you can perform search operation, you can perform delete operation, as well as you can perform update operation on a static hashing. So static hashing involves these 4 operations. Okay. Now next we discuss what are the problem faced in static hashing. So you might have heard about two problems. One is a overflow and second one is a collision. Now I will give any real life example to illustrate the concept of overflow and collision. So first of all we'll see collision. What is collision? I will give simple example. Suppose in a particular train, 2 passenger is being allotted same seat. Okay, so passenger A is there and passenger B is there. Both the passenger is allotted a seat number 101. So this is what, this is what problem of collision. In case of a collision problem, one seat is allotted to two passenger, that means it's a problem of collision. Okay, similarly in case of your database, here you can see these are the key. For example, search key C and D both are mapped to bucket number 4, but in bucket number 4 it can hold only one record. Okay, it has capacity of holding one record, so C is already stored, but again D is also mapped to bucket number 4. So this is what a problem of collision. Collision is a problem where where two search key are mapped to same location or same bucket. So this is what a problem of collision. Now next is a overflow. What do you mean by overflow? Suppose you just take a simple example. For particular travels, the capacity of number of passenger or number of seats are 50. Okay, but again passenger number 51 has come, so where he or she can sit. So in that case you observe that in case of travel they put a separate stool in that particular travels. So this is what a overflow means. Its capacity is 50, and if suppose passenger number 51 comes, then we can say that it faces a problem of overflow. Means after, means its capacity is full and still you want to store more item into that particular container. So this is what a problem of overflow. Here you can see that here this bucket number again 4, and we are going to we are try to store C as well as D, but this bucket have capacity of storing only one. So this is what a overflow problem. Okay, so there are two problem, one is a collision problem and second one is a overflow problem. In case of collision problem, both the search key are mapped to same bucket. So this is what collision. Overflow means suppose my bucket size is 1 and I'm trying to means I try to fix two passengers in a one seat. So this is what problem of overflow. Now in order to overcome these two problem of collision and overflow, in case of a static hashing, two concepts are there. One is a open hashing and second one is a close hashing. These are two techniques used to solve this collision and overflow problem. First of all, we address the problem of collision. How collision problem can be solved by using the concept of open hashing. So this is demonstrated with the help of this particular diagram. So here you can see search key C and D is mapped to bucket number 4. So in that case, how this problem will be solved? So in that case, C is already placed on bucket 4, and then we try to place D in bucket 4, but space is not there. So in that case, what it will do, it will check next pre bucket. So we found that at bucket 5 no search key is present, so we will place search key D in bucket number 5. So this is what a concept of open hashing. So what we have done, if two search key are mapped to same bucket, then in that case what we'll do, we will look for next pre bucket where we can accommodate this extra search key. And this is what a concept of open hashing. And open hashing help us to solve the problem of collision. So collision problem can be solved with the help of open hashing. Now we want to solve second problem. What is that? Overflow problem. Now in order to solve overflow problem, we need to make use of concept of close hashing. So in order to in order to demonstrate the concept of close hashing, I am going to use this particular diagram. So here you can see again same thing, search key C and D is mapped to bucket number 4. So in that case, in open hashing what we have done, we have we have to search for next empty bucket where we can accommodate this search key. But in case of close hashing, we are not doing this. What we are doing, we are just creating a linked list. We will create this node and we will attach to bucket number 4. Means we have just extra extra node we have attached to bucket number 4 where we are storing D. Just like travels example, in case of a travels, one more passenger is there to which we want to provide a seat. So what we'll do, we'll put a stool in between the seat so that that particular passenger can sit over there. So this is what a concept of close hashing. So in case of a close hashing, what we are going to do, we are creating extra node and we are attaching it to original node. by means of a linked list. So here you can see, by means of linked list I have created a new node, and there I have placed search key D and I attach it to bucket number 4. So this is what a concept of close hashing. So in case of static hashing we face two problems, collision and overflow. Collision problem is solved by means of open hashing, where we need to search a free bucket where we can store search key, and overflow problem is solved by using the concept of close hashing, where we are creating a separate node where we can place a new search key. Okay, so these are the concept of open hashing and the close hashing. These two techniques we are using to solve collision and overflow problem. So this is all about static hashing. Now next we discuss about dynamic hashing. So at this name suggests, what do you mean by dynamic hashing? Dynamic means what? Things can be changed at the runtime. You already learn the concept of static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. In case of C language, you have seen static memory allocation means what? While declaring the size of array, its size is fixed. That means it is a static memory allocation. But suppose at the runtime you want to change the size of an array, then it is a concept of dynamic memory allocation. So in the same way, in case of hashing, static hashing, we have seen the number of bucket size is fixed. Okay, and hash function is fixed. But in case of dynamic hashing, the size of bucket can be changed at the runtime. That means suppose my database grow or shrink, I can change the size of bucket accordingly. So in case of static hashing, there is a wastage of memory because the size of bucket is fixed. So in that case I face a problem, suppose my database grow or my database gets shrink. But in case of dynamic hashing, there is no problem. While suppose my database grow or shrink, no problem in dynamic hashing because its size can be changed. Size means what? Number of buckets can be changed. Now I will illustrate with this two diagram. Okay, so here what we are seeing, dynamic hashing is also called as a extended hashing. So in this case we take a simple example. Suppose there are three search keys are there, D1, D2 and D3, for which we have created a three search key. Okay, 1001, 0101, 1010. These are three hash values are generated. So in this case what we are going to do, we are going to consider only first bit. Okay, 0 and 1. So here you can see I have considered only first bit of this address as 0 and 1. So in this case what you observe, D1 is stored at bucket 1, D2 is stored at location 0. So in this case I face a problem where I should store D3 because space is not available. So in that case what I will do, I am going to change its shape or change its structure. So in this case again the address is same. So in this case what I will do, instead of considering only single bit, here I consider first two bit. So here you can see 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. These are four different combination I will consider. So D1 is stored at 10, D2 stored at 01 and D3 is stored at 11 location. So in this way, in case of dynamic hashing, the problem of database grow or shrink can be solved. So in this case I have no space to store, I have no bucket available for storing search key D3, but here you can see I have created this and easily I can store. So this is what a benefit of dynamic hashing over static hashing. So in this case of dynamic hashing, the address is going to change. This is not a case in case of static hashing. In case of static hashing, I told you about this. In this case, though you are generating the address, that address will be same. So in this case hash function is mod 10. Okay, whatever the search key mod 10, it will generate 1 2 same thing. But this is not the case in case of dynamic hashing. It is going to change. It is going to change at the runtime condition. So this is what a concept of dynamic hashing. So here we understand two main concept of hashing. One is a static hashing and second one is a dynamic hashing. Now next is, what are the different operations can be performed on dynamic hashing. So we can able to perform four different operations such as insertion, querying, deletion and updation. These four operations are possible in case of dynamic hashing. Now next concept is of hash index. Okay, next concept is of hash index. So concept of indexing and hashing merge together to form concept of hash index. So it is a type of secondary index in which keys specify an order different from sequential order. Okay, So we discuss about types of indexing: primary index, secondary index, cluster index. So we at that time we discuss about this. So hash index is a type of secondary index in which keys specify an order different from sequential order. So here we can take a simple example. These are the search key 215305101. So in this case we are going to make use of hash function to map the search key to the bucket. So in this case their order is not same. Okay, here you can see their order is not same, their order is going to be changed randomly. It is going to store at a different bucket. So this is what a concept of hash index. So in this case search key is there, so hash function is there. So in this case we are going to use the concept of hash index. So this is what a separate file. So hash index is a fusion of indexing with a hashing concept. In case of hashing there is no index file is created, but in case of hash index we are going to create a hash index file where it stores the address for record where actual address is being present. So here in this case search key means with the help of hash key, function we will map this search key to hash index, where in case of hash index we are going to store search key as well as the pointer. Pointer is nothing but address where your actual record resides. For example 215 is a search key which is mapped to bucket number 1 by using hash function. Then here address is there, here pointer is there which points to actual location where search key 215 is going to be present. So hash index is a fusion of indexing and hashing. Okay, it make use of hash index to map the search key to a record. So this is what a concept of hash index. And finally we are going to discuss about what are the difference between static hashing and dynamic hashing. So in case of static hashing, hash function maps search key value to fixed set of bucket. That means number of buckets are fixed in case of static hashing. In case of dynamic hashing, hashing function maps search key value to variable size of bucket, means bucket size can be vary. Then in static hashing we face a problem of while database grow or shrink because it is fixed in size, but there is no problem in case of dynamic hashing because at the runtime we are going to change. Suppose my database grow, no problem. Suppose my database shrink, still there is no problem. So static hashing suffer from the problem of overflow, and dynamic hashing generally does not suffer from the problem of overflow. In static hashing there is a wastage of memory. In case of dynamic hashing there is no wastage of memory because at the runtime you can increase or decrease the size. And in case of static hashing it does not allow hash function to be modified, but in case of dynamic hashing you can change the hash function. That facility is provided in case of dynamic hashing. So these are the various differences between static hashing and dynamic hashing. So at the end I would like to summarize the thing. So here we discuss the concept of hashing. Hashing help us to directly locate memory address where your actual record is present as compared to indexing. So there are two types of hashing we discuss. One is a static and second one is a dynamic. In case of static hashing we face two problems, collision and overflow, which is solved by using the concept of open hashing and close hashing. Then we discuss the concept of dynamic hashing, and finally we have seen the difference between static hashing and dynamic hashing. So I hope you understand the concept of hashing. Thank you.